Thanks for staying with us. Now, Gauteng is officially in the third COVID-19 wave, and efforts to get people vaccinated are expected to be stepped up. Now, Dis-Chem Pharmacy Group says each of its pharmacies will be ready to administer at least 600 shots per day. The company has also secured 32 vaccination sites, 11 of which will be ready to start vaccinations later this month. For more now, we're joined from here in Johannesburg by Dis-Chem's National Clinic Manager, Lizette Creer, who speaks to us from outside of their big offices in Johannesburg. Lizette, thank you so much for joining us. It is a Saturday morning, but as we can see, you've reported for work. Tell us a little bit, give us a taste of what's been going on behind the scenes as your group has started its work to get ready for this very important phase of vaccinations lying ahead of us.
Yeah, so it's been a process and a planning, but I believe we're almost there. Very excited. Because it's a Pfizer vaccine, we obviously have to plan the planning was a little bit more intense regarding the -20, to keep it at -20. And I just want to correct, we are going to start with the 11 mass vaccination sites from next week, the 24th. We're not going to offer the Pfizer vaccine within our stores due to the fact that the management of the cold chain is quite intense with the Pfizer vaccine. But in the 11 sites, per site per day, we would probably the capacity will go around between 500 and 600. So, I mean, you can make your sums. It's quite substantial what we can do.
Okay, let's just get clear on the facts then, because obviously there's a lot of numbers going around, and we want to ensure that our viewers have the right information at their fingertips as we head into this important phase. We know that on Monday, the second phase is supposed to start, which focuses on those who are over 60, right? Our pharmacy groups such as yours has come to the party with government to say, we have got certain sites that we'll make available. Your group, I'm told, was picked to have the Pfizer vaccine because you have the cold storage capabilities. Just take us through, just factually, how many sites you have, what vaccinations they will be offering, and how you will start this rollout come next week from the 24th.
So the 11 sites is in 5 of the provinces. There's 5 sites in Gauteng, around Gauteng. And obviously we'll make the sites available for the public to understand exactly where it is. It's easy accessible. That's the main thing that we looked at. People, you know, we will be geared up, like I said, per site to do at least 500 per day. So, and then we've got in Eastern Cape, we've got in Free State, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape. So we try to almost spread it out so we cover all the metro areas, and that's for the Pfizer vaccine. If then after a week we see that the need is substantial and we have the stock from the DRH, the Pfizer stock, we will expand it to 32 mass vaccination sites. So why did we do mass vaccination sites? It's just easier to manage in terms of volumes and getting people vaccinated as quick as possible, and put all the correct measurements in place in terms of the EVDS system and the stock system. So in the stores, what we will do, once the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is released, we will make it available in the store. Obviously, the capacity will not be 500. We will probably look at between 20 and 40 a day, but that's the store. You know, we've got almost 200 stores in nationwide. So starting with mass vaccination, obviously the access is huge. I mean, the capacity is really good. And then ramping it up if need be to 32 for the Pfizer. But then if we get the Johnson & Johnson, start off with that in the stores.
Of course, the difference there, just to remind people, is that the Pfizer shot is a 2-dose shot, which is taken 14 days apart and needs to be kept at a certain temperature, very low temperature, and the Johnson & Johnson shot is 1 shot as well. Explain to us the difference between the mass vaccination sites and the in-store sites and what you'll be offering there.
So the mass vaccination sites, there will be around about 12 vaccinators, so 12 nursing practitioners that can actually attend to you, which in the store, and then obviously the Pfizer, due to the fact that we can keep it at -20 and we can manage that at that temperature. And then in the stores, most of our stores got 2 clinics. You have to understand that the clinics must run their normal business, day-to-day business as well, which is very important with all the other vaccines. But one clinic will be then used for the Johnson & Johnson vaccination. So the process basically stays the same. It's just a little bit in a smaller scale in the stores, but we will be able to offer that in the store as well once we get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Just finally, before I let you go, Lizette, give us an idea of what kind of preparation your staff have been going through to prepare for this, because we do understand, obviously, there will be people taking the lead to administer the shots, but of course, they'll also have teams of people supporting them as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, the process and the planning was quite intense. So everybody had to go through a full vaccination training for the COVID vaccination, all the vaccinators. And then we've got the administration staff that's just as important. That's going through training this morning, actually. That's why we're here. And then, obviously, in terms of the planning, the procurement of all the equipment for the mass vaccination site, I mean, it's open spaces that we had to set up with all the necessary equipment to handle any anaphylactic reaction, any side effects. So it's almost like a mini clinic hospital being set up for the mass vaccination sites.
Okay, and we can only certainly wish you and your team everything of the best. Very important work that you're doing for the country coming up over the next few days. Thank you so much. That Dis-Chem's National Clinic Manager, Lizette Creer, coming to us live from outside their big offices in Johannesburg, where, as you just heard, they're ready to continue their training so that they can be ready to receive those very important South Africans who will be getting those vaccines. They'll be ready from the 24th of May. We'll have